Okay, I wanted to take a moment to discuss a little bit about what Livestock Skillathon is in 4-H. I know from time to time people have questions about what we do in that contest, and so I thought I'd cover a little bit about what we're doing and how we kind of work with that program and have fun with it. Last year we had several kiddos that do it, and so we just wanted to give you all this opportunity to learn a little bit about it. As you can see here, 4-H livestock is a skillathon, so there's many aspects to learn, but it's an educational contest about animal science and livestock management. It's not just, know your breeds, but that is a common thing that everybody associates it with as well. But it's an interesting contest, a fun contest to learn. And a lot of this contest you can literally do at home, whether you get on the computer, do YouTube, or whatever you feel comfortable with. There are some information web sources to go to study that as well. So take a chance and look at it and see if you might enjoy it. And you don't have to necessarily raise livestock to enjoy this contest. Now, that is an individual or team event. You can see the age divisions. Your junior group is 3rd through 5th grade, intermediate 6th through 8th grade, and of course your seniors are 9 to 12. Again, individual or team. Team is usually 3 or 4 members. And then you kind of can get into your age groups there. So if you've got some friends around the same age, might be something you want to jump into as well. The first thing we'll talk about is know your breed of pigs. And this isn't all of them, but this is the bulk of them here. And it talks a little bit about what they are and where they came from and their characteristics with that breed. Something, if you're in the pig show business, you probably know a lot of these already. But there are a handful of others that you'll learn as well on that group. So just something to look at, something to study. Beef knowledge is also one of those areas that we cover as well. Again, you can go online, look all this stuff up. This just happens to be one of those breeds that everybody thinks it's an Oreo cow, but actually it's a Belted Galloway is the official name of this guy, or this gal, I guess, in this case. But a few of those are raised around here. You don't see many of them, but it is an interesting breed. In this section, again, you'll be given pictures to identify what breed they are and what they are showing you. So it'll look like a plate image, just like what you see here. You just have to understand what breed or identify what breed that may be. And all these, even swine, beef, sheep, and goat, again, they'll just be in a picture format as well. Sheep and goat breeds, these are kind of, in the goat industry, there are several breeds, and those are something you have to learn, as well as the sheep breed. Some things that, are pretty common, maybe you've seen around you, maybe not, but this is a chance to study those breeds and understand what they are. And this, again, it's just a quick ID kind of a thing, so nothing you have to learn where they came from or anything, but just understand what that breed may be. Meat judging, you'll have usually a class of 4. And in that meat judging, whether it's a pork chop, a steak, lamb chop, any of those kind of meat cuts they may put together. But anyway, it'll be a class of 4. And you'll study those. And a lot of times it has to do with how much marbling or how much fat is there. And this happens to be a set of lamb chops. Usually the fattier they are, usually kind of knocks off the flavor a little bit. But when we get into some of the other meat production, you want to see that marbling in between that red meat as well. That helps tenderize it. Also adds a little bit of flavor. You also judge that meat on how much red meat do you actually see on that product compared to some of the others. If they're all the same size, does one have a little more meat? Does one have a little more fat? What cases there are to study those and look at those. Again, it's a class of 4, and you'll place them, how you see them in that group. Equipment ID, this is probably one of the funnest things for me to work with kids on. I've gone and to the local vets, and they've pulled out a lot of this equipment that you see here. And of course, there's a lot more. And they'll go through it and talk to you with it and kind of teach you a little bit about it. We do have some of it around the office as well that we can work with you too. Something that's just really fun. And a lot of you guys and gals, if you're around the farm or livestock much, you'll understand what a lot of these products are on here and what they're used for. But something to keep in mind, kind of some neat stuff to understand and learn about. There'll also be some feed identification, livestock feeds. And as you can see here in the picture, you know, you've got some wheat and corn and milo. Those are typically a lot of your grain feeds that are used to grind up and feed your livestock. You'll learn how to identify those. There's also some other products that they mix in there as well. That would be like a ground meal looking product that'll have a certain smell, a certain look, you know, and you have to ID what that product is. It's kind of a neat thing to look at. Of course, we've got bags of that stuff here at the office too to look at and study as well. Wool judging, this will be again another class of 4. And in this class, I'll just tell you, usually the easiest way to gauge these wool samples is by weight. So you'll actually pick up the bundle. And as you can see here, they're judging a bundle, kind of looking at the fiber. You can kind of look at the fiber as well, but typically what you're going to be picking them up and seeing how much wool is there, what that weight is. That's typically how you judge that wool class. The fiber length or fiber crimp can kind of come into play as well, but typically 9 times out of 10 it's judged just by weight of that wool packet. Hay judging, they added this to the contest a year or 2 ago. Interesting thing to learn also as well. They may give you some samples that look like these out of square bales, and you'll have to place those according to what you see. And usually with hay, the more leaf you see compared to stem makes the ideal hay. Maybe the better green color, the better smell of that hay also will help make that hay run up to the top of that class as well. And again, it's a class of 4 that you will place and put it on your scorecard how you see it. Quiz time. Now this is related back to the FFA quiz information, and all this is online too as well. Several questions, and the luxury about this FFA quiz is it's a multiple choice. So you go in here and say, okay, pigs must be ear notched for what, and which is necessary for good record keeping, and it's already been bolded and highlighted. And ear notching, of course, is used for identification of that pig. And so once you find this information, and like I said, there's a lot of information. I'll share a slide here at the end as well to talk about where that is, that you can go in and find some of these resources and everything. But again, at least go in there and study. I think there's like 250 questions that you could study to learn more about that national quiz that they do use as a contest. Now here again is the information slide. If you want to go to the Texas 4-H website, you can type in Livestock Skillathon for 2020. That's the most recent information we have, but there may be some coming up pretty soon for the 2021 contest. But a lot of the stuff is basically the same information. But, you know, if you have questions, you're interested in this project, I mean, it's a fun project. Kids learn a lot from it, really have a good time with it. And this year, we'll be able to take many kids down there. Again, you need to sign up through 4-H Connect or 4-H Online like you did when you signed up for 4-H. You'll just enter the Livestock Skillathon contest and go from there. So if you have any questions of any kind, please let us know, and we'll be glad to help you out. Again, you can call us, email us, whatever you need to do to go from there. Thank you.